Hello everyone, today I'm going to be talking about the tomatoes that I'm growing for market. I will be growing more varieties than what will be listed, however those will be just kind of for my own personal use and also to see how they grow, which means I'll grow maybe one or two of those types of plants. So let's just get right into it here. Alright, the first variety that I'm growing is the Kellogg. And these are saved seeds, heirloom seeds. This isn't the orange variety. This is the more that's a pinker type. Still a new variety, and I think it'll be nice. They get large size pink tomatoes. The next one is a persimmon tomato. Now I don't have very many seeds of these. Again, these were sent to me by a friend of mine. I have about, I think, 10 seeds or a dozen seeds, so I'm hoping for 100% germination. These give you the nice orange size, or nice orange color tomatoes. Going along with having things be colored, these I grew last year. These are the striped cavern, if you remember. Those are the ones that have 4 lobes that are blocky, almost like a bell pepper. And they're red, but they have yellow like streaks and lines in them. And the insides are fairly hollow. It's very good for like stuffing, doing it almost like a filled or a stuffed pepper, but you stuff the tomato with ground beef, chicken, cheese, other vegetables, whatever. I just like it. I think it's a very unique variety. And Alright, here's another colored one. This one is called Lemon Boy. Now, I don't have very many seeds of this. I just bought one packet. There's probably maybe 15 to 20 seeds in here. Lemon Boy gives nice, not quite, they're bigger than a golf ball, but not as big as a baseball. Like maybe 2.5 inch, 3 inch across, something like that. But it's real bright yellow in color, which is very nice. And that'll also add, a nice contrast to the pink, to the striped, to this, that, the other thing for the market, because I want to have a nice colorful display at the market, and I think doing it that way would be great. Another colored one, if you will, this is the Cherokee Purple. Again, this is an old-fashioned type, and the plants didn't do that well for me last year, but I also believe it's because they were grown in those pots. And those pots were maybe 2 gallons worth of soil volume-wise, maybe 2 to 3, and it really wasn't enough for tomatoes. Some of my Sweet 100s, which I'm not doing this year, were also grown in that, and they didn't produce very well, and the plants didn't get very big. So hopefully Cherokee Purple, another run at these this year. And another old-fashioned type, this is a Brandywine. Now this is a indeterminate variety. These Brandywine tomatoes are mostly like on a pinkish type. Should be a real nice uniform tomato. So I have the Big Boy hybrid here, and this gives a nice large size tomato. Let's see, does it even tell you on here the size? It just says heavy yield, often weighing a pound or more. Now if I can have some nice big tomatoes to kind of have it as a display at the market and then to sell, I think that'd be a great addition. Plus I grew a lot of these last year and they did fairly well for me in those grow bags, so I'm hoping they do even better in the raised bed. Now, I do have some that I'll be planting outside that are determinate varieties, and these also will be probably the ones that I'm going to grow to sell. I don't want to be selling indeterminate varieties for a number of reasons. One is, unless you have proper staking, the plant's just going to turn into a mess. If you remember last year in the greenhouse, my black cherries, they grew to the top of the greenhouse, which was 7 feet, and then they probably grew another 2 to 3 feet beyond that, just horizontally. So most home gardeners aren't going to have a 10-foot high stake or trellis to train a tomato up. So you stick with determinate varieties. You can cage them. You don't even have to cage them. You could Florida weave them, let them go, anything you really want, and they'll grow a lot better. However, determinants will obviously put on their fruit more at one time than spread out. But as for your average home gardener, they don't really care too much about that. So anyway, some of these will be going in my garden. Others will be taking likely to sell as long as I get good germination. And both of these are the same thing. These are just a beefsteak tomato. But these will be outside determinants, and they will be planted outside and hopefully give me a lot more tomatoes to go along with the indeterminate one inside. Now also, I'm growing one variety of Roma, which is a paste tomato. And I have a lot of seeds here. These were sent to me by one of my friends in California. So I'm really hoping to plant a lot of these outside. I'd say upwards of 18 to 20 if I can have the space for them inside the house. That's the thing. I have plenty of space outside in the garden to plant all kinds of tomatoes and peppers and anything. It's just about starting them in the house, which when I take you into my grow room next time, you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, this is going to be my Roma, my paste tomato. Now you may say, well, hey, aren't you doing any cherry type tomatoes? Yes, I am. This one here is yellow pear. I've grown this last year. It did fairly well. Again, they weren't, some of them were grown, I believe, in those containers, not the grow bags, and they didn't produce as well as I would have liked, and they did crack a lot, but hopefully having them in the raised beds reduces the amount of cracking, and cracking is usually from inconsistent watering. Now in the grow bags, it's hard to tell necessarily how moist the soil is, especially down in the bottom of the bag, but in the raised bed, the plants will send their roots deep into the ground. So I shouldn't have to worry much about splitting with this variety. This is a new variety for me. This is called Riesentraub, and this is going to replace my Sweet 100s as a cherry-sized tomato, and it's red as well. And then last but not least, my breadwinner, I guess, for last year, these are black cherry. Now these did exceptionally well. These were massive sized cherry tomatoes, and I only had 6 plants of these last year, I think, and they did very well. So anyway, those are the varieties that I'm planting for the market. Now when I do my seeding video, which will be fairly soon, I will be growing other varieties just to test them out. I'm not talking 20 other varieties, maybe 6 or 7 of ones that I am interested in, but I'm not interested in them enough to trust them to be a good market tomato, or I don't have the amount of seeds to produce, 15 or 20 of one plant. So anyway, those are the tomatoes. Feel free to leave messages in the comments below if you have questions on those. If not, catch me next time. The next video should be shot in my grow room, and we should start planting some peppers. Thanks for watching.